Hello, it's Scott Manley here with a massive piece of news about this channel that you watch and you love and you sometimes share with other people. This channel has really been a hobby for me for the last 15 years. It's not actually been my day job. A lot of you don't realize that for the last 15 years I've had a day job, right? Now, originally I was working for a company called Topsy and we did like Twitter analytics. We could produce like search engines and things like that based on Twitter. And various people used that. But then a company you might have heard of called Apple came along and acquired us in like 2013. And since then, I've been working at Apple on various products. And I'm not going to tell you what because Apple loves everything to be a secret. But as of last week, I have finished with my position at Apple. I've passed off all my projects and I am a free agent, which means being Scott Manley, the content creator, is kind of now going to be my full-time thing. Hopefully. Hopefully. I have all sorts of financial commitments. You know, kids need to get through college. I gotta pay for some repairs to the house, and my wife wants to go on the odd vacation. So I need to figure out how to ramp up what I'm doing here, to something that is worthy of full time. And maybe somebody comes out of the woodwork and says, Scott, we really would love you to work for our like deep tech startup or whatever because you're really good at like reading about stuff on the internet. Yeah, this has been an absolutely fascinating, amazing last week. I mean, it like everything seemed to line up in all sorts of weird and coincidental ways. Like I was at Open Source and a lot of people were like, a lot of other creators were like, Scott, why are you wasting your time in this day job? This is how you should like grow up and get big. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Then opportunity arose to sort of wind down my position. The weekend before, I was flying jets with Jared Isaacman, and there will be a video about that. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't the MiG-29, and we'll talk about why that was, but that was absolutely stunning and life-changing in an awesome way. Met all sorts of amazing people, and I kind of want to do it more. And the day after my last day at Apple, which was an emotional experience after 15 years, you'll understand, we finally picked up my plane, which had been stuck in annual since January. Actually, technically, I hadn't been able to fly it since December. So that was a very long time. Now, I'm the only one of the partners who had actually been maintaining flight skills because I've been doing my instrument stuff. But it was a completely different plane. Nevertheless, took off, learned to fly it again, landed it safely, took it home, and now I am once again able to like go flying on a whim, which is, all these things happening all at once. Great. Also, my son, Orion, the younger one, he's off to college this week. So again, everything just seems to be lining up around a giant life transition right now. So look, initially my plans, I got to figure out how to make like YouTube big. But for me personally, the first thing I want to do is go and start finishing up my instrument rating as a pilot. Now, I had been working on that starting last year, and I thought I was reasonably good. I got a really good score in the written test. I can fly the thing straight and level. I can read all these approach charts, and I have terrible anxiety when talking to air traffic control. And people say, why do you have such trouble talking to air traffic control when you're so good at talking to us on the internet? And I think the reason is that I'm just talking to you, whereas if I'm talking to air traffic control, I'm asking them for something. I'm impinging on them. I'm saying, please, pretty please, could you do what I need? I need that clearance to get from A to B to C. And I don't want to cause anyone any stress. I'm a nice guy. No, but I have to be a demanding pilot. So anyway, I've been practicing that on Pilot Edge for the last couple of months, and I think that this is the point where I go in and I just like slam through all those lessons really fast. I'm probably going to go straight into like a commercial rating. Might even go for CFI, maybe glider, get a tailwheel endorsement. I don't know. I've got a bunch of things that I want to be doing. So that will kind of be taking a lot of my time. But at the same time, I have to start ramping up the content side of things, right? Actually start telling the stories that you guys love. And you see, we just published one of the visits to NASA. That was very much in my old style. I need to sort of bring the quality up so I can find engagement beyond my core audience who, likes looking at this ugly visage. And yeah, just try to make my content a little more sticky, get those thumbnails sorted out. But then, beyond that, Well, I hate to say it does mean that we're going to mean there's probably more videos that will come since I have more time. I'll have more time to research them. Flip side is I might actually have to start taking sponsorships, And I know I've been really good at avoiding those, partly because a lot of them sort of conflict with things that Apple do. I can't exactly advertise computers or smartphones or streaming services or yeah, yeah. There's really not much I can advertise when I was working at Apple. So you might have to sit through the odd sponsored spot if I'm going to do this full time. Uh, Patreon. I was really embarrassed to be asking for Patreon, and really that started out because some very well endowed individuals basically insisted that I let them give me money. So I really kind of want to ramp up that as some new source, some new like cool stuff there. Right now, I'm about to edit together the B-roll footage from the NASA hypervelocity free flight test facility. So that'll go out to the Patreon viewers, readers, supporters. But yes, what else? Gotta figure out how to do some merch. I'm gonna be making a video about the whole Jared Isaacman backseat fighter pilot stuff. There's a lot to tell about that. And there's a photo that I managed to get of me, throwing, the side of the devil, right? Rock and roll. While doing a roll. So I figure out that'll be a t-shirt along the lines of, aileron roll, no, rock and roll. I don't know what's going to happen. It is simultaneously liberating and terrifying, as everything should be. Also, I get a lot of mails from various companies that are like developing things that would have liked me to come out and do stuff. From conferences that wanted me to come out. And a lot of the time I'm like, I can't get the time to do this because of my day job. Well, now I might have more time. So if you are one of those like people that wanted me to come out, I might be available now. Might be a lot more available, but I still have wedding anniversaries and birthday parties and other things that normal people do. So look, yeah, this was really just a shout out to everyone that's a loyal follower of this channel. There's not really a huge amount of science in this. This is just, me being me, and I hope that that's why you watch me, because I'm pretty good at being me. Especially me being like a super hardcore like geek that really loves science in all forms and loves explaining it to you all. So I hope that you guys have a great week. I'm off to start my first week of fun employment, right? I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.